Hey, this is Jeff with The Building Boys. By trade, I'm a chiropractor, and I own other real estate ventures such as extended stay suites and long-term rentals. One day a week, I grow my passive income portfolio. In these videos, I will be working alongside my father building our next passive income stream, a senior citizen fourplex. Watch our videos and repeat the process for yourself so you can become financially free.
All right, you guys, we're going to talk about the roof. We're going to get started here shingling. And I just kind of want to talk about like the overhang ODE. So on the gable ends, so you can kind of see that's a gable end. I'm almost ready to tie back that. You have a 2-inch overlap. All right, so I did realize that the one small mistake the guy did that hung our roof, and I didn't catch it at first, was we want to have this metal, this ODE, which has an overlap of like, you know, 1/2 inch and then a drop down. I want that on the whole thing, okay? Even on these sides. Now it's a day late and $1 short. We can't do that now. We'd have to rip up all this, and if I did it again, I would probably have the ice dam on underneath this, okay? So the steps, I would do this tar paper stuck down to the OSB, and then all of these subsequent synthetic felts. Then I would nail on the ODE. This is correct on this side. And then I'd also put this all along these sides. And then after this is nailed here, I would then put this drip edge over the ODE. What that does is, can you see how just tight this is? I mean, we can still fit our fascia covering over this, but that fascia covering just gets narrower and narrower. And I'm kind of scared that this fascia covering is just going to barely come above this lip. So if you have this first and then you put this drip edge, that gives you like a 1/2 inch clearance for the water to just kind of shoot off into the gutter. And with this longer overhang of this metal, that fascia metal will slide right up and have a much better coverage. As you can see from the backside, there is at least 3/4 inch longer than this. So basically what I would just do differently so that you guys don't make my same mistake, I'll do it right on the next duplex, is I would put this stuff around the whole house, and then on these straightaways where the gutter is going to be, I would put the drip edge over the ODE. So to fix this problem, I'm just going to have to bend some metal after the gutter's on and after the fascia board's up to kind of like slide up here and just put like a little angle so that when the water comes, it'll just kind of ramp more into the gutter rather than trickle down. Okay, guys, we are getting ready to shingle today. I got a buddy who's a funeral director, obviously, so no one died today, and a Texan named Ezekiel that is in town for some reason. He wants to shingle. So you want to make sure everyone has a knife. I don't really ever expect anybody to show up with anything. So I got one guy with a regular straight blade. You can cut shingles from the back side. So if the shingles laid down, nailed down, and on the edge of the roof, you can come from the back and rip it from the back side with a regular straight. Or if you need to cut it from the top, the stone side, hook blade comes in very handy. So we got one of each. Okay, we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but before I get the crew here, I just want to talk. When it comes to shingling valleys, I always find the smaller roof, okay? So here and there are smaller roofs than what I'm standing on, okay? This will make much more sense after we get going. But if you always start with a smaller, so we're going to start with our shingles right here. That's where we're going to start. And we're going to overlap the shingles over the valley, okay? After we get this little roof done, we'll snap a line and we'll show you how to do that. But quick little thing is, whenever you don't really know where to start with the shingling, start with a smaller roof, which is right here, okay? It will make sense as we get going. All right, we're getting started here. So this is the starter. This is kind of like a half-assed shingle, okay? So you just put this at the bottom. The big key is this piece of tar. So that first shingle has something to really glue to, okay? So now we'll put it on warp speed and you'll see us go. Okay, so like I said, we want to overlap about 18 inches on this side of the valley, okay?
See where it goes?
So as you see, we're staying past the valley. Turn it over. When you're laying these shingles, make sure you really push down on this valley so you don't have it raised. And do not put any nails within the valley. So we got here and up there a couple, okay? Okay guys, so we finished the small roof and then we marked 2 inches this side of the valley, okay? We snapped that line. Now we're gonna run a shingle vertically. This way we don't have to cut the valley. It's an amazing product. Okay, so what we did is we were running a vertical shingle right along that chalk line. Then we're just running full shingles right in here. So it actually just makes a little triangle of that vertical. So you got a nice straight line. Okay, you guys, so the reason we shingle the little roof is because we want this line on the heavy rainfall side. So there's gonna be a lot more rain coming from this roof rather than this roof. So we want that water to be running down and jump past this shingle that we're running vertically and then down into the valley. I mean, theoretically it would work if you went the other way, but if we have a downpour and that water's got a lot of speed and this was on the other side of the valley, that water could ramp down the valley and then get back up in the shingles. Now we have tons of overlap, so it's probably not gonna cause an issue, but if you can do one way that makes it a heck of a lot better, then go that route. So we ran that chalk line like 3 inches off the valley. Here's the valley, about 3 inches. So back, ran a straight line. Then we ran those shingles up that straight line. And then we just tap these shingles right to the corner. So this triangle and this triangle are part of that diagonal shingle. And then here is the shingle that just touches. So it makes a lot more protection on the valley, and you don't have to cut with a hook blade. All right, you guys, it's about 2:30. Even though it's like September 19th, it's still 90 degrees. So it's getting a little hot for the shingles. A, it's hot. I don't like to be that hot. And B, more importantly, is the nails are starting to shoot through the shingle, even with me dropping the pressure on the tank. So it's a good time to just say, done for the day. We got all of these done. So that side, the opposite side, and then on the other side of the duplex. So those are a little harder, not really harder, but you have to just deal with the valley, and it's just kind of slower. So we just wanted to get all of those taken care of so that next time we show up, we can just start just blowing shingles on. So if we have people that show up that aren't as experienced with shingling, we'll make it really simple. So it's just stair stepping and you really can't screw it up. So we just wanted to get that valley done and get this thing shedding water. All right, keep watching, you guys. Check out our website, Building Boys. It's in the description. There you can purchase all the blueprints, building materials, everything. And you guys can repeat this for yourselves.